They're more obsessed with finding what works than being authentic to themselves. Authenticity is just like my highest value.
Hello, welcome to CoachGrid. My name is Joe Spearden, joined as always by Kirsten Davis. And today, we're so excited to be talking with you. If you are a brand coach, confidence, if you're worried about being authentic in a world of AI, in a world of overwhelming tech, the person that we get to talk with today is going to be a really important conversation for what you're trying to do. So Madi Maple, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so excited to have you. This has been something we've been trying to make for a while.
Yeah.
And finally had the opportunity to have you here in Utah so that we could get together and talk with you.
I know. I traveled for this. I'm a traveling speaker.
I know. I've been telling people, I'm like, yeah, we have somebody flying in from Vegas.
Yeah. Flying in from Vegas. Here I am. I know. I've been ecstatic. We've just been going back and forth doing that phone tag of like this date. And I just knew it would work out.
Yeah.
And we're here.
Well, yeah, we're really excited to talk with you today. And I think as we want to get into tech and how we navigate a lot of that stuff, I think it would be great first to just kind of hear a little bit about who you are, how you kind of define yourself in the industry that you're in. And we'll just kind of start there. I'd love to hear more about what that is.
Like everyone, I think when you hear explain who you are, you're like, because there's just so many things. And I'm one of those people who, you know, I'm a coach, but I'm also a retreat host. I also do podcasting. I'm also a DJ. I'm a huge festival girl. And really, expression and confidence is just at the forefront of everything that I do, whether it's in personal development or retreats, travel, music, like literally anything that I do. It's all about the energy that you bring to it and the authenticity. That's why I'm really excited for this, because we have just so many different pieces here to see how they all blend together. But yeah, I grew up here in Utah. Me and Kirsten have known each other. I don't know, what grade was it?
I think it was 7th.
Okay, 7th grade.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's all a blur.
Yeah.
It is all a blur. We've known each other for a long time. I grew up here. I grew up in the church. And, you know, I don't know how much you guys want me to get into that.
I mean, have you always been this authentic expression of yourself?
And that's why I was going to kind of share that. I don't want to get too into like the church and everything, but it was a huge part of my upbringing because, you know, the culture, it's not even the church itself, it's the culture around it. I mean, I grew up being told like, you need to be this type of person and you need to believe this and think this and eat this and drink this and wear this. And for a long time, like I just felt, I mean, I didn't even know how closed in I was because it felt so normal to me. I didn't know anything else, but I was the girl that would like bring changes of clothes in her car for like where I was going. And I like wanted a nose ring so bad. And I couldn't get like a one you could see. I got the septum that like looks like a bowl so I could flip it into my nose. And so it's like I was living this like Hannah Montana double life where like if I was able to be immodest, I was going to be immodest. And then if I needed to go to like my boyfriend's house or my family's house or somewhere I needed to be modest, I'd go in my car and change my clothes. And so I always just had this like, intrinsic like desire to just express and be free and have fun. And, you know, if you look at my brand, I talk a lot about hot girl energy, which hot girl, it's not about how you look. It's not about societal beauty standards. It's about this like expression of just like, you know, we're going to talk about systems today and how to blend the in the systems, but I'm very I'm on the edge of just like, I want to just do what I want. And I couldn't for so long. So then I got out of the church. I got into music festivals and that's when everything shifted for me. Cause I pretty much went from a community that told me exactly who I needed to be into a community that was like, literally do whatever you want. Like the outfits that you see even at raves, sometimes you're like, okay, whoa, like we're pushing the edges here. And I pushed my edges and I was able to find who I was. And I think something I'm just learning about myself deeper and deeper is like my biggest value in life is having fun. That being said, in your business and in your brand, you know, a lot of personal branding experts right now are just like be authentic, be yourself, and like you will magnetize people. I also am not that free flowing because I also understand business and more of the structure and the systems to what actually creates sales, what actually creates desire. And so, having fun is at the forefront of what I do. You'll see my brand if you look at my Instagram. It's like hot girl, fun. And also, you know, I have this element of bringing in. I'm a businesswoman. Like I know how to create desire and create offers and create branding where I'm not going to be a personal brand expert here and just be like, just say what's on your mind and just share your life, because that's not enough to create desire, especially in today's age with all of the competition, right? Everyone is being authentic on Instagram now, but how do you actually create a business out of that? And everything just kind of snowballed to leading my business. I just like, we got here.
It's interesting. You say like everybody now is being authentic on Instagram, but I wonder if they actually are, or if they've seen this modeled and it's just a new level of performance and repetition, but I'm performing and repeating and duplicating your version of authenticity.
100%. I should have said they think they're being authentic because 100%. But like, I just think everyone hears that, right? It's like, you have to build a personal brand. You have to build a personal brand. And people think it's just like sharing their life or sharing their to-do list or sharing some pictures of their cats or what they did over the weekend. And like, that's not enough, you know?
Well, I think another really important thing in that is you said, I'm this, but I'm also a businesswoman. But there's a lot of businesswomen and men that are out there that are professing some similar things. But not only are you a businesswoman, you're a successful businesswoman, right? Because there's a level of fake, again, with a lot of people that they want to create that idea. But maybe talk a little bit about the success that you've experienced up to this point in what you've been doing for the past decade or however long you've been doing it.
Yeah, decade. No, 6 years actually this month.
6 years. Okay, awesome.
Happy business birthday to me.
Yeah.
And happy birthday to me. 6 years, just around this time, I started my podcast. And at that point, I think what I create is so authentic too. I'm not super woo-woo and I'm not super spiritual, but there are spiritual elements to the way that I market because I really believe in creating, from your heart and your lessons, your life. You know, I've been like bashing so much this week on ideal client avatar worksheets, which I know an element of what you guys do is helping people kind of fill that out. And also I'm very much in the belief of, for most businesses, this is totally nuanced because not for everyone, but most service providers who have personal brands, they are the ideal client. And so I think why my business took off so quick to begin with is I was literally just sharing what I was actually going through. And I actually didn't know about the coaching industry at all, which is interesting. Like I didn't know it even existed. When I first started finding other coaches, I was like, other people are life coaches? I had no idea. And I think that actually worked in my favor because I was just like, okay, I'm just going to like share what I'm going through. I'm going to share lessons. I'm going to share like the different codes that are coming through me, what I'm learning. And it took off very quickly. I was completely shocked. I wasn't going into it of like, how do I create something to generate sales? And I think the energy behind what you're doing really matters. I'm sure the same with you guys, or, you know, when we get into conversations about AI, the intention and the identity and the energy behind it matters. And I didn't go into it of like, how can I manufacture what I say and say things perfectly in order for people to buy from me? I was just like, let me serve and let me help people. And I started sharing. It took off. I started coaching. I've now done over 1.2 million in cash over the last 6 years. So like just by creating my personal brand, and I've hosted, next week will be my 20th sold out retreat that I've hosted in the last 6 years. So I've been hosting 4 or 5 retreats a year, which has been amazing. I do it with my co-host Bianca and then some on my own for content. And yeah, I mean, it's just, I think my biggest flex is like doing all of that, but doing it in a way where I never lost myself, because I have so many people who come to me and they do lose themselves in investing in people where it's just about how do we, it's the performativeness. Like you said, like, how do we manufacture what we say in order to get people to buy? I still believe in like sales psychology. I still believe in like messaging. You guys know, like I love messaging and stuff like that, but some people take it way too far where there's a spectrum and people are on this side of the spectrum where everything they do is like, how do I make people buy from me? Like, how do I manipulation isn't always bad, right? There are ways to bring forward different emotions in order to get someone ready to make a sale.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's so on the edge of the spectrum where it's so manipulative that they lose themselves and they're like, okay, well, I hired this coach. She told me exactly what to say and what to do. And I fucking hate my business. Yeah. All the time they come to me and they're like, I hate my business. I don't feel like myself. I feel like I have to be someone else all the time. And I'm making sales, but I'm genuinely unhappy and it's never going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like my biggest flex is just never losing myself and actually genuinely having so much fun. Like my life feels like a movie all the time. And most people are sitting behind their computer trying to be like, how can I get people to buy from me today?
Yeah.
And it's sucking the life out of not just the industry, but like their life. It's not even fun anymore.
Yeah. Whenever I see like the way that you coach, the way that you do content, like what comes up for me is like learn the rules so that you can break them.
Yeah.
Because it's not that you don't know the rules. Like you very much, like you've paid your dues, done your time, done like all, I think you even have like all these certifications that you never talk about, but like you're
have one.
you've gone through it. like you like know things, but you know, a lot of things, but then it's like learn the framework so that you know exactly where to push it against it.
Exactly.
And I like that and like in what you're saying.
Yeah, no, you said it so perfectly. That's exactly it. And that's where I dance so much with my clients. Like usually my trainings aren't just standard trainings where I'm asking them the same questions that other business coaches, you know, like I even, there's a program that I was in and it was just like, I felt like these questions were taken from the like life coach handbook and just like, it's just the same like questions over and over, but there's no like activation. There's no like making people think differently or approach their content differently, approach things from like a different identity, a different intention, and people can feel it. Like there's people out there who are making millions upon millions with the most vague messaging you've ever seen. There's people who have perfect messaging that can't get a sale. Yeah. It's like, we got to meet in the middle, obviously. But it is hard to see so many people just like, it's like we're all in the pursuit of like, what works? I just need to find what works. But then in the pursuit of finding what works, you lose what actually makes it work, which is you being in your power and being convicted and being yourself and being in your lane. They're going in everyone else's lanes to try to find what works. I always explain it like, it's actually happened to me last year because there's levels, like, right? There's layers to this. And it's like you're on this path and then you're like, okay, I want to blow up. Like I want to get bigger. I want to scale, whatever. And you're like, you see someone over here doing it and you're like, okay. And you're going on your path and you're like, let me check it out over here. I want to try things in a new way. Not necessarily inauthentic. It's just, I want to try something different.
Right.
But then you go so far down it. Then you wake up one day and you look back and you're like, where'd my path go? I'm lost. Like now I'm just like in the forest with this person and I'm doing things in this different way. And you're just like, and that happened to me last year. I was like, you know, because I'm trying to grow my business. And so I have to try on different hats. I have to look at other people's lanes and be like, what are they doing? What are they doing? It's not bad to learn from people, but there's a place where it goes too far where then, you wake up and you're like, I don't even know why I started doing this. And I'm just doing what everyone else is telling me to do.
It's really interesting. You talked a lot about the ideal client avatar and the ideal client profile and that side of things. And what you're talking about right now for yourself, I think you're right. We do that with people, but as we're doing that with them and asking those questions, the revelation that's given at the end is like, surprise, this is you.
Yeah.
And as they discover that, there is this permission to continue to discover more of yourself. And that maybe your ideal client is going to shift over time because you shift over time and you grow. And not only growing for the sake of growing your business, but just that's the nature of life.
Yeah.
So with that, I know Kirsten shared with me, and I've seen some of this myself. You are very authentic, very expressed as yourself. And you've had people come in and try to duplicate you, right? You've had some people come in and kind of do what you're doing. What does that bring up for you in this conversation of like the authentic expression?
Yeah. Okay. So I kind of have a hot take on this that you might not be expecting me to say, but I actually think it's quite natural if you are a brand who's attracting people like you that want to do it like you, right? My people, because I'm more in like mentorship coaching, again, because so this is nuanced. If you are in a business where you're not teaching from your own experiences, you're providing more of like a service, like a VA or what you guys do or whatever. But for me as a mentor, like I am attracting people who want to do it more like me. And so actually I'm totally okay with a lot of my clients doing things a little bit like me because that's why they came to me, because they see a part of themselves in me and they want to bring that out of them. So sometimes it's not fully inauthentic. It's just that they didn't have, like they saw that in me and were like, that's a piece of me that I want to bring forward. Let me get into Maddie's space to make that happen. That being said, yes, sometimes it goes way too far. Not going to give specific examples. I wish I could. I'm not that messy. But I've had experiences where it's like a literal copy and paste. And I definitely have to have conversations about that because obviously, authenticity is just like my highest value. But yeah, I actually think there is an element of, and that's why I think you should be so discerning about who you get into spaces with, because naturally you are going to kind of follow them. Just naturally, right? Even my coaches, it's like I see parts of myself in them. And when I work with them, I do maybe like model sort of things, they do something and I'm like, wow, like I really love that. I'm going to try and offer, obviously my own offer, but I like the way they formatted that. And me and my coach are like so similar. Okay, let me try this out. But then it just sometimes goes too far when people aren't, again, they're more obsessed with finding what works than being authentic to themselves. But we don't know any better. We just want to make money.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I don't care. I'll do whatever. Like I just bring me more clients. And that's where, like, for me, it's just a process of always checking in with myself and always asking myself questions. And sometimes you can't see it in the moment, but I'm always having to ask, like, is this really what I want? Is this really what I want to do? If I knew that some other way was going to work better than this way, would I still do it this way?
Right.
And you just have to like constantly check in with yourself, because even me as someone super authentic, self-proclaimed, I feel I'm very authentic. I know who I am. I still wake up some days and I'm like, wait, what? Why am I doing this? Why am I trying to create content in this way? That's not fucking me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
In this space, as you're working with different people, I would imagine you've had people come to you and say, the authentic me isn't interesting. The authentic me is boring. And I don't know how to take the authenticity of myself and do what you do. Because like you said, you're a DJ. 1 week you're like in the club, then you're in Costa Rica, then you're in like this group with these women, and then you're traveling, then you're with your partner and like all of this stuff. And everybody else is like, I was on my couch for all of those things that I saw her doing.
Exactly.
So how do you help those people uncover not just what's authentic, but what is unique about them?
Yeah, absolutely. I love this question. And I actually was having a lot of conversations around this week. I've been teaching some trainings on exactly this. And my life used to not look like this. Like when I first started, and also don't get it twisted, 80% of the time I am on my couch. Like I have the best couch in the world and I sometimes don't leave it for like 12 hours. But yes, on the weekends I do really fun things. And with my retreats and festivals, I have so many amazing moments. But it's not about that. And what I was sharing with my people this week is we were even talking about this just right before this, is we get so close to ourselves in our life and we normalize it so much that we don't realize how different it actually is from other people. Like it's so normal to you. Even Kirsten, wait, can I share this?
Yeah, you can share whatever you want.
Well, no, she was saying to me, she was like, I'm just realizing more and more just how good I am at what I do. And to anyone outside looking in, they'd be like, what do you mean? Because we can all see it. But when you're so naturally good at something, a lot of times you don't realize it because it's natural to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so same thing with your life. You might think these little things in your life are this is just how it is. It's just normal. But even just the way that you spend your morning routine, right? The way that you feel throughout your day, the way that you engage in conflict with your partner, the way that you attract just little opportunities, little things throughout your life might feel so small to you. Whereas someone on the other side is praying for that and wishing for that. And so I think a lot of my journey, and this is more going into my confidence work, a lot of the ways that I teach confidence are not actually egoic. Like a lot of people think not content, just get them intertwined. Confidence. A lot of people think it's very egoic, where it's gassing yourself up and I'm the best and I can do this and I can do anything. Whereas my view on it is that confidence is actually quite spiritual in the sense that it's all about acceptance and accepting who you are not and just being who you are. And it's an ego death. It's an ego death because I've spent so much of my life, say even with the upbringing in the Mormon church. And I mean, I spent probably until I was 20 years old wishing I was someone else. And even, not to get too dark, but in my teenage years, it was self-hatred. I hated who I was. And I just wanted to be anyone else. I wanted every single trait about myself to be different. And once I finally just accepted, which you almost can't teach acceptance. It's just like this decision in this moment that just gets to happen where you're just like, F it. I am going to stop thinking that I need to be different. And I'm just going to accept this is who I am, I could teach a whole seminar on that. We could go much deeper, but people who are wanting to build brands that are more personal, they need to like start accepting that like, this is just who you are, and who you are is literally what you're meant to share. And there are people out there that don't want a flashy life. They don't want to go party. They don't want to go to festivals like me. They want the type of lifestyle that you live, right? And you might be thinking, oh, but it's not this, but it's not flashy, but it needs to look like this, but this person's life looks like that. There are millions of people who don't want the life like that. They want the life just like yours. Can you own it? Can you claim it? And can you just accept this is who you're meant to be? And just like literally just fucking own it. And a lot of the people that I follow that I, learn from, are inspired by, it's not lavish. It's not fancy. It's literally just the way that they like believe, the way that they think, 100%. Little ways that they move. It could just be like as simple as like handling a text message. Like one text message that someone might spiral over, one person just handles and just like does it. Share that. It could literally be you sitting on your couch answering a text message. One person would spiral for 12 hours over it. Teach them how you don't spiral. How do you think? How do you believe? How do you live? It's nothing about and you have to realize that there's so many people just like you. Some people don't realize that. Like there's so many people just like you. Go find them and don't be anything else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that. I'd be interested to get your take on it. As you talked about the Mormon church and Christianity in general, but really cultural in general.
Yeah.
That oftentimes the way that I've seen it, you're right, we get bored with our own genius. Yeah. And we forget that it exists. But there's also this idea, I think, that a lot of people have that it's not about authentic, it's about superior or inferior. Mm-hmm. So if I come out and say, I'm really amazing and I'm really good at these things, the reason that's so uncomfortable is because they're worried everybody else is going to think that you're saying, I'm better than you because I'm owning that I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
So this idea that I can be really amazing and you can be really amazing and you can be really amazing, and that doesn't detract from each other.
Yeah.
But I think for myself at least, and for a lot of men that I've worked with and people that we've talked to, it's this idea of owning my brilliance and owning my light means that I'm going to upset others because I'm telling them that I'm better than they are. Yeah.
And you've read The Big Leap. I always talk about this book, right? That's actually one of the biggest reasons people don't reach their potential. It's not, sometimes they're afraid of failure. Sometimes they're afraid of success. But what actually comes with that success could be losing people.
Yeah.
Like losing your friends, losing your family. Especially if you bond with people over like struggling with money, for example, and you and all your friends, like we're all broke, together. If you start making money, like you might lose those friends. And so I think that's always an interesting conversation that some people don't realize. It's like, we're so afraid of losing our tribe and losing our people that exact problem is what keeps people, like so many people, small. But I mean, you said it perfectly. I always say it in these words of arrogance means I'm better than you. Confidence means I'm amazing and so are you. That's exactly it. But unfortunately, you can't control how people view it because you could be being confident. I mean, energy goes a long way. So if you really are in the intention of like, I'm amazing and you can do this too, then most people are going to feel it. And also you cannot control the people who are not ready to see that. And people are always going to be triggered. I mean, it's just, my advice is just get over it. Like, I don't know.
How often do you have people showing up either like in your inbox or in person that are really rubbed the wrong way by the way you're showing up and trying to cancel you or all the narratives that people have is if I do what Madi does, this is what people are going to do. Like, talk about the reality of that.
Yeah, I would say thankfully for me, I feel like I haven't had it as bad as some people might think. I know that there's people who don't like me. I know there's people who are triggered by me. I've had clients tell me they're triggered by me and then hire me 2 months later and be like, I need to hire you because I'm triggered by you. Right. So it's like, I would say like, I honestly have a pretty positive response where like people are triggered by me, but I've never had any, like, fortunately up until this point, like cancellation type of thing or someone trying to like come after me. I think there's just this standard that I hold for myself where people just know, like, if you don't want to watch me, don't watch me. So I have people unfollow me or whatever.
Yeah.
But thankfully, like, I haven't had any big experiences of people being like malicious. I've just definitely had people be like, even just past clients be like, I can't follow you right now because it's just, it's too much or it's triggering or even I've had clients tell me I need to just unfollow you right now because it will with their own authenticity because they do have similarities to me. So they're like, I don't want to post like you, so I need to not look. But I would say for the most part, I think it's that intention. I think people can feel that I'm really not trying to like brag. And I don't have a malicious bone in my body. Like I truly serve so hard and love my people so hard and love my life so much that I think people know not to like fight me, Right. Like I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm literally just living my life.
Here today with us, we've had so many conversations as you've found the success that you've found, as you've grown the ways that you've grown. There are technologies, there are softwares, there are programs, there are all the AI things that are existing in the world right now. Tell me about your experience with tech, with structure, with systems. Like, is there a love-hate relationship there? Like, how have you experienced that so that you can scale and grow the way you've expressed you want to?
Yeah. I mean, I love technology. I had a cell phone way too early. My parents gave me like the new iPhone the minute it dropped. I think I was in like 8th grade or 7th grade or something. I was like 10, I was like 11 and I had an iPhone. I love technology. I would be just random lore. I would be the girl in the neighborhood that like jailbroke everyone's iPhones. I loved it. On my Tumblr, I would be coding the out of my Tumblr. Like I love tech. So I have a love relationship with it. I don't get frustrated by tech like a lot of people do, thankfully. But I do have struggles with automations because of how authentic I am and how I like to like post from the moment and post from my heart. And now I've been starting to set up email funnels and things like that. And that's felt good. And it's felt like, I can let go of this piece of myself that needs to be in everything that I do presently, right? Like I can take my words and have it run on autopilot. So I've been experimenting with that more. And for AI, I actually think most people that hate AI just don't know how to use it. And they think it's going to like take over or like that people are losing their minds or losing their creativity when I actually think it just expands my creativity more because I never actually use it to write copy or anything like that, but I do have it. I mean, I'm a generator. So my thing is like to respond. I need things to respond to. So I'll have AI give me like ideas or like talk into it and have it like organize everything. So then I'm able to actually have something to like bounce off of instead of just like coming up with it like poof, Right. And so, yeah, I use like all levels of tech pretty moderately, I would say. But I think in terms of systems and starting to talk about systems, that's one thing for me of starting to, like I'm very in my business. I know people say don't work in your business, work on your business. Like be the CEO, be the leader, build a team. But I'm someone that's so deeply in my work that, I don't know. I struggle sometimes with like systems. But even when I was telling you guys that I don't really have systems, you guys are like, you have systems. I just don't think I have the really big fancy ones. They scare me.
But I think that's a great segue into a lot of what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love what you were saying about AI. That's something that we've been, as we work with a lot of different coaches, we work with coaches that are where you're at, but we also work with a lot of new and like early stage coaches.
Yeah.
And there is this tendency to say, all right, AI, you give me the message, and then I'm going to be the puppet that delivers the thing that you said because I'm not sure. And I'm scared to be authentic and give my message.
Yeah.
Versus the way that we're utilizing AI is I have the message, you help me organize it, and then you become a megaphone for me in the ways that we utilize it so that it can reach even more people.
Yeah.
And so I love what you're saying there. And that's where a lot of people are making that shift, and where we're able to help a lot of coaches make that shift is I know exactly who I am.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm about. I want to put that in front of 100 times the amount of people that it's in front of right now.
Yeah, totally.
So that's awesome. With the systems that you're talking about and the complex systems, I think one of the things, again, that we've seen and that I've seen Kirsten all the time is she's like, I'll be talking about something that feels utterly complex and overwhelming. And because of her expertise, she's been able to take that and make it very simple for people to interact with, even though there might be an immense amount of complexity in the background.
Totally.
In that space.
Totally.
Would you agree, like for you, do you kind of sometimes forget your own genius as well in those spaces? I mean, you were realizing it here in that conversation with Maddie, but.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've realized that is my genius is that a lot of developers get their validation and their self-worth from how they can handle the complexity. And so they make really complex things because they're like, look how complicated this is. I made it and it's so complicated. But actually, everybody else that's not tech doesn't know what to do with it, and they can appreciate it. They can be like, dude, that's awesome. If you've ever gone into a gamer's like setup and they're showing you the computer they built and like, you're like, wow, that's amazing. And like, I don't know what to do with it past that. I should take a step back. I don't think I should touch it. Like, it seems important. And I started there, but because I have this whole other side of me that's flowy and feminine and playful and edgy, I was able to kind of like let go of the validation of the complexity and then be like, okay, I have all of these people that I'm building for that want it to be simpler. I'm going to just scrap everything that I've built and on the back end, keep the power, because everybody wants that power and the effect of it and the organization and it just feels like magic. Mm-hmm. But on the front end, I was like, okay, I'm letting go. I'm like releasing my baby into the ether, and I'm going to put this really cool, like, I don't know, it's hot. Like you could like, like this is like, it's like hot tech.
Yeah. We love
it has
hot
all
tech.
The power, but it's like,
if someone's going to make hot tech, it's Kirsten. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, you actually want to use it because it actually feels interesting. It feels usable.
Right.
I think a lot of people get confused on what value truly is. Like people equal value to like time, like you were saying, like time or effort, but that's not always what value is. Like value is just value. Is it valuable? Does it work? Does it do what you want it to do?
Yeah.
And I think so many people, even not on the tech side, even just in coaching or content or whatever, they might take hours on a post and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm like doing this post and they feel like they're putting in all this effort on their business, but they're really just like kind of keeping busy or doing things that don't actually have an ROI or don't have that potency. And it's like, you could have created a reel in 10 minutes that did the exact same thing as this carousel, but you chose to spend 4 hours doing this so you don't do the other things that scare you or whatever.
Right.
Or that they find the validation, like you were saying, in it, where it's like, oh, like, look how hard I'm working, but it's not actually doing what they really wanted to do,
Yeah.
I think we've experienced that from two sides. There's the new coaches that they spend a lot of time in that minutia because they're avoidant of a lot of this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And then the ones that finally get past that, there still is a level, as we've worked with a lot of coaches that are growing and blowing up, is they say, I'm at a point where I either have to hire someone or I have to charge more money for me to be able to grow, what I'm doing, grow my income. And what we've been able to do for them is use that tech and use the systems and the custom applications and the custom software and all of the things that we do so that they can grow to that next level somewhat seamlessly. Yeah. And oftentimes, like someone we've just been working with over the past month, the amount of manual effort that she has to put into her business is like 10% of what it was. I love that you brought up the big leap.
That's probably not even
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been massive, but the big leap talks so much about the zone of genius. Mm-hmm. And what we want to do is you have this zone of genius, and a lot of people that you work with and a lot of people that we work with have the zone of genius. And we say, stay out of this other stuff. Yeah. Let us build it for you so that it just works around your zone of genius.
Yeah. The amount of people who just lose their shit over just building like a landing page even. And it's like, you're supposed to be changing lives right now. Why are you trying to create a website on Squarespace? Right. And I think what you're doing is, even though it's tech, it is so centered in service in that way where it's like, let's go get people actually doing what they're meant to do and stop stressing about all these tech things that are just taking up unnecessary time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the questions that we ask clients quite often is, because they talk about growing their business, say, well, I've got 10 clients right now. So if tomorrow you had 100 people that wanted to hire you,
Yep.
could you handle that? And without fail, it's no.
Yeah.
Like they don't have something built to be able to deliver to the level that they're saying they want to grow. And so for you, you've incorporated different pieces of tech and different softwares, and we're talking about some collaborations on some stuff as well, and being able to scale from there. What do you see as the future in the authenticity, in that expression, and then utilizing tech with people that you're coaching? Like, what are you telling them when they're saying like, oh, I don't like this, or I don't have this. I just want to go party or go, do these different things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think just using the most simple platform that has an all-in-one, right? Which is like also what you guys have created, which you're still using, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are geniuses. They've shown me many things just along the way. And they're like, now we're creating this thing and this thing. And it's just this like, it's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. It's so amazing. But yeah, the platform you guys showed me before where it's just like everything is in one and everything is connected. Cause I think so many people, it's like they have their email platform and then they have this and then they have their courses and then they have like, it's just all over the place. And just having something so seamless so that it's just easy, especially, using like platforms that are very user friendly when it comes to the creative side, because a lot of my people do want to be creative and have cute websites, not just like plain websites. And so like finding somewhere that they actually have the creative freedom to like actually bring their vision to life is something as well. I mean, I believe in having like the tech and actually having real tech, especially if you want to scale. But a lot of my people starting off, I'm like, just sell from your Instagram and just have a simple landing page, because so many people buy off of just like your content, right? But when you're actually wanting to scale, having something that actually represents your world and can be seamless and all be together, I mean, it's like a necessity.
Yeah.
For scaling, like you're saying. Especially like I love memberships. Like a membership, you need to have that. Like it's pretty seamless, especially if you're having people come in and out, building communities. Like I think the biggest thing that I see for you guys, I was just like thinking about your guys' app, like driving here, and I was like, I feel like it's like building apps for people that feel like a home, that like actually feels like their little world, Yeah. I think that's like the most important thing for me when it comes to tech.
I love that. And I think we've been able to learn so much from you in the past as we've worked together to say, all right, tech is generally seen as something that is boring or a necessary evil.
Yeah.
And the way that we've approached it is knowing how important that expression is and having that unique personality and that value of who you are.
Yeah.
How do we partner that with tech and let that tech, whether it's a landing page or an app or a community space or a funnel or the emails, how does that become just an extension of who you are? So again, that way, all of this technology just helps you reach more people and have more impact in the world. I love the way that you're talking about service and being able to serve people and being driven from that. And we come very much from the same place, so that what everybody's able to create has the most service impact possible.
And creates the best client experience. Like the back end that I've seen of your guys' apps, like being on the client side of having that, not having, I mean, because it's all about the client. We're talking service.
Yeah.
They want to have a seamless journey where they don't feel overwhelmed by the content. The way you guys have things laid out, it's just like you do this and then you do this and it's so organized, and there's so many elements of it that create such a beautiful client experience. So not only are you able to hold more clients and sign more clients, you're keeping more clients because they're actually getting wins, because they're actually doing the work, because it's actually organized. Like that's what builds a business is the renewals.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's actually our app. We realized, Joe spoke to it, but one of our biggest places that people drop off is we're like, okay, first we've got to get your foundations down. And it is like your ideal client. Who are you? Why are you doing this? And like getting clear on that, and then moving forward into the action of, okay, we can do that in a day usually. But people want to take 6 months to figure it out. And so we say, okay, you pay the full amount, but you don't get any of it unlocked until you figure this out. And then everything else unlocks.
I love that.
But like when you have your own custom software, like you're able to know exactly where your friction points are and then like gamify it or whatever you need to do to
Yeah.
keep that.
I mean, because the truth is everyone needs accountability. I really hate like the whole high level client conversation where people are like, well, if you have clients who aren't just like doing the work on their own, then you're not attracting the right clients. And I say bullshit to that because I'm a high level client and I sometimes need a checklist or so, like the support, the accountability. I buy things and I never go through it. And I think there's like this really negative narrative in the coaching industry and especially in the business coaching industry where it's like, there's something wrong with the clients that you're calling in or there's something wrong with your marketing if you're not calling in people who just like watch every single second of what you do and implement it right away and pay you right away in 2 seconds. You do need to actually have like reminders and follow-ups and like different things to bring them along. And I think that is part of being a coach. Coaching is about accountability. It doesn't have to be. You can call in clients that you don't have to hold accountability or whatever. It's a lot of times why people invest. It's to commit to the goal. How can you help them commit to the goal? That's not you hand-holding, that's service. They're like, oh, you're hand-holding your clients. No.
Just working
You're
together.
being a coach. You're just working. Yeah.
Maddie, last question. Thanks so much. Thank you for being here. This has been so enlightening. And anybody that's watched this, so much value as they're trying to express some of these same things.
Yeah.
Your prediction in your world, in the world of coaching, in the world of tech, what's the future? What's the next 5 years look like, do you think, as far as people that want to remain authentic, but also continue to innovate?
Oh my gosh. Well, one of the things I've been saying is that long form content is making a comeback, like sitting here right now because of AI. Again, I'm not anti-AI, but because of it, there is so much written content that, people call it like AI slop, or it's just like people can write anything.
Yeah.
I call it fuckboy messaging, or it's like the fuckboy that just says anything that you want to hear to get to sleep with you. It's like those coaches where it's like they'll just say anything that you want to hear to get you to buy, but not many of them actually are an embodiment and like know their shit. So if you can sit here for an hour and just like talk and give value and actually teach and activate people, that is going to be worth gold rather than a lot of like written content. Written content is still great. I love written content, but I think being able to actually hear someone like speak and see them in-person experiences for the same reason, like get in person. That's not a tech thing, but it like just get in person and use these tools to enhance these things. But I think just like showing the realness is going to be the best. It's just going to be the best, period.
All right. For the people that have watched this today, how do they find you? Where do they go find you?
Yeah. So I'm mostly on Instagram at Madi Maple, Madi, maple like the syrup. And I have my podcast called Breaking Butterfly. I'm off and on there, but you can check it out. And yeah, I host retreats. I do programs all the time, memberships, coaching, you name it. I have all of the things and it's a fun world to play in. I would love to have you.
Thank you, Maddie, for being here today. Thank you for watching, for being with us. If you want to know more, if you want to engage more with your tech, with the enhancement of your coaching, you can find us at CoachGrid on Instagram or at CoachGrid.com.